Yo, 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 you already know who it is. From Amigos Podcast. Back at y'all again with another episode today. You already know who this is. It's your boy Price. Here with Rob always. And we have three major things that we need to touch on today. First, this NFL free agency. The ups, the downs, the Dallas and Oakland not doing what the hell they supposed to do. And then we gotta talk a little bit of game and MLB the Show. First impressions. Me and Rob both been playing the game, taking a little time, giving y'all a little bit something different. And last but not least, WWE, we love Cody Rhodes, but please, end this story. And we talk about all of this today. Bro Amigos Podcast coming at you. Starting now.
If you're a diehard sports fan or sports fanatic, then this is the place you want to be. You're now listening to the Bra Amigos Podcast, the best place for all sports everything. So pull up and let's go.
And the start. Free agency, Rob. Ooh, free
agency.
So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the blue starred elephant in the room right off the bat because, like I said, it's not nothing against the team. It's only the people who yell that y'all going to the Super Bowl every year. Dallas, I just want to say this: you guys have done absolutely jack shit to even say that we're going to the Super Bowl. There has not been a roster improvement anywhere in this signing list that says, hey, we're going to make a Super Bowl run. We didn't sign any running backs that were out there. We didn't grab any wideouts. We didn't sign any tackles, anybody on defense. We did this. One linebacker, Eric Kendricks. He signed with the Cowboys. You gave Jordan Lewis a 1-year deal, and you re-signed Trent Sieg. That's it. That's it. Look at me, America. That's it.
Look at him.
That's all y'all did today. And then Oakland. You know, Oakland.
Well, Vegas.
My bad, Vegas. Y'all should be deported back to Oakland after not doing anything. So,
not wrong.
What's wrong with y'all? Y'all needed a quarterback. Didn't make a play at Russ. Aim said, hey man, we'll see about getting Sierra a residency if she wanted. We ain't do none of that. When got Garner Minshew, I guess that's an upgrade for where we were from Jimmy Garoppolo. Amir Abdul, he re-signed with the team. Andre James, 3 years, $24 million, $16 million guaranteed. Now you did sign Christian Wilkins. Best defensive lineman that's not Chris Jones. Pretty sure me and Rob can agree on that. See? 4 years, $110 million. Okay? So unless Christian Wilkinson is going to go for 30 touchdowns this year, I don't see what that does for y'all offense. Y'all can stop some people, but we're still probably not putting the ball in the end zone. Why? Just why? I just want to know why. I'm pretty sure your fan base wants to know why. I know, I'm curious. You and Dallas are the two teams that I'm most just, what is going on right there? Why isn't anybody in panic mode? Like, nobody's in hey, we need to win. Hey, we have a franchise. We're trying to make it, especially you, Jerry Jones. You know, every time I hear you say that you'd write a check, if you knew that you could get another suit, we ain't breaking it. Where the book at? I don't believe you.
Word.
You ain't even pull this thing out yet. You ain't even pull out the debit card to swipe it. Come on now, bro. But on the other side, getting away from you guys, you just I don't even know what
You
y'all even
people.
trying to do. You people is right, Rob. How you feel about your Vikings, Rob?
Oh,
How
I
you?
actually feel lovely. Like I feel, to be honest, like I was looking at like this off season. I'm like, what the fuck are we gonna do? We need to get a defensive tackle. I
Mm-hmm.
was telling y'all go get Christian Wilkins. Y'all just signed Jerry Tillery.
Yep.
Okay. But y'all also signed Jonathan Grenard, who
Mm-hmm.
from PFF is got a good grade, had high pressure rate, and Andrew Van Ginkel, another high pressure rate guy, Blake Cashman, another high pressure
Yep.
rate guy. Like, we've done well. Went and signed Aaron Jones. Didn't think that was ever a possibility.
At all.
Upgraded the running back position. We signed Sam Darnold. But see, we did a lot of things that I could actually say give me a second.
No, it's emotional time.
It's gonna be hard coming out. Reach in and bring it out. Reach in and bring it out. I am happy what moves Kwesi has made this offseason. And granted, I said that earlier this week. Somebody said, hey, offseason ain't over, give it time. And she's absolutely right. Shout out to you, Leo and Stilettos. But I am very, very happy the moves that we have made this offseason. I think we've identified a lot of positions that we needed to resign. Granted, we let Daniil Hunter go, but we got a guy that is younger and for a lesser contract for more
Mm-hmm.
years than what we would have had for Daniil Hunter. And Daniil Hunter's had injury history, all that. So I mean, we've upgraded a lot within just this offseason. And I can say for me, I am proud of us and the people that we've been this offseason. Okay, all right. Like, thank you, Vikings, so far. Because we've done this before. We've had good off seasons where we identified things. We said, hey, Kirk, go to Atlanta, which we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about a little bit more. But we've been basically doing very well with just signing who we need to sign, getting rid of who we need to get rid of. And I don't want to say that is a bad thing, but pushing things for the future seemingly.
Mm.
So we just traded, with the Texans to get another first round picks. Now we have two.
Yep.
Hopefully Michael Penix is one of them, or whoever. Or we trade up and try to get Jaden Daniels, because if we do, I mean Drake May, I've heard less skepticism with Drake May as things have gone on. So if we do get him, cool as well. But we're doing the things that I like, and I like that we're doing the things that I like. All right, so I
Hey.
appreciate you, Vikings, for making me a happy little boy this off season so far. So, but dog, like I did not have a lot of confidence.
You were hopeless
I
last
did.
episode. You were hopeless.
I
You
was
you were like, we're not
just
making this. You were like, Bryce, what are we gonna do? And I was like, there's always hope. And you were like, I have no hope. It's been taken from me. And yet now today we stand one Sunday later. You have hope again.
Mhm. I do. I absolutely do, and I appreciate that, Vikings. So at least y'all giving me some hope. Cause it's been with y'all. It's been pretty hopeless. Like, I'm so glad that y'all didn't take the poison pill and basically go get Cousins. Because I was like, yeah, 4 years, 180. No, well, he's already 36 and coming off an Achilles injury. No, that's not smart. I thought it was gonna be the 2 year, whatever it's gonna be, 45 million a year. But no, he got it from Atlanta, and I'm happy for him. You know what? I'm gonna go into my Kirk Cousins spiel because I can't wait for it. I got it. Price, if you want to let me have the
Oh,
time,
you can go ahead, go
I
ahead,
can
go
have
ahead,
full.
go ahead. You got
All
this.
right.
You got this.
So I need to say my bye byes to Kirk because I haven't said the proper bye byes to you yet, sir. I've long said in the past when it came to Kirk Cousins that he's the most Vikings quarterback that's ever existed.
Hmm.
Just not the best, not the worst, but the most on the point as far as the fandom that I've been watching this team for damn near 25 years. The Vikings quarterback that has ever the most Vikings quarterback that has ever existed. Kirk, you played well. You played well to good. I would say you've been a good quarterback the last couple years. And no matter what anybody tell you, they're gonna always talk about your playoff victories or the lack thereof. But you do have a playoff victory, which you did basically have an overtime victory against the Saints on the road, and not many other quarterbacks have that. So even though wins aren't a quarterback stat, that is something that you do have in your holster. So don't ever let that anybody take away from you with that. And whenever people talk about Kirk Cousins, because this has been something that has been in my mind for a very long time when they talk about him, and it's really more it's like everybody's doing a stick. It's like everybody has like this, thing that they say about Kirk is like, oh, can't win the big one, can't do anything. What are you really gonna get with him? It's like y'all don't really think about how many quarterbacks are not that good. Like it's really only like maybe 7 that you will basically of the standards that you basically put on as a quarterback being good, and that's it. Like it ain't Justin Herbert if that's basically the way that you want to do things. Because if you want to talk about people failing in the playoffs or not basically making it to the playoffs, that man is done in spades, even though it's only been like 5-6 years. But people will put that on him, or people will put that on the team, not necessarily put that on him. Then you could go to Josh Allen, who has coughed up games and has consistently coughed up games throughout his career. But that doesn't go to him, even though he has some playoff victories. He doesn't really get over top the teams that are actually really good and basically, supplant himself as somebody that's great within a league. But he's a great talent and people love him. But when it comes to Kirk, people always try to take their brains out, put it in a box, and just spew out bullshit. And it's weird. And I never really understood it. Now, granted, he's gonna be coming off an Achilles, and his play is gonna diminish, and that's period. But he has been a good quarterback from just watching them and actually looking at the game instead of looking at box scores after the game and looking at basically, okay, what snap was this here? Was it actually watching the game? He actually did play well. And he played well in games, and he kept the Vikings in a lot of games that the defense was essentially losing, consistently losing. And it seemed like people don't want to think about that. People want to just be like, well, everything has to go right. But what quarterback? Literally any quarterback that is winning without things going right outside of Mahomes. And that's really more just this year. Like, what quarterback? Because any other quarterbacks that actually play and any other quarterbacks that do have things wrong, whether it's a busted up line, defense playing like crap, no running game, one dimensional offense, no play calling, they'll point to those things and basically say that's the reason why this team is losing. But then when it comes to Kurt, it's like, well, you should overcome those things when these other good quarterbacks are not. Like with Tom Brady, for example. People bitched and moaned about Tom Brady not having any help when it came to New England once his time was ending there. He ended his career in New England on a pick 6. But nobody's going to hold that against him. They're going to basically say, well, the New England Patriots did not give him anything to work with. The New England Patriots did not outfit him for success. But if he was Kirk Cousins in that spot, it's, well, why didn't you elevate these receivers? Why couldn't you overcome this? You ended the game. You ended the season on a pick 6. You hold these things that should be damning against Kirk Cousins, but don't against other quarterbacks. And that's my biggest thing with Kirk. Like that's my outline. That's my outstanding opinion on him. It's like he gets an unfair shake just because he was the rising tide that lifted all quarterback contract boats. And people don't want to give him that credit because, oh well, he's a ski mask. He's ski mask at the ski mask Hall of Fame. He basically taken to the bank. Yeah, because there's not that many quarterbacks that can do it, and he's done it. The teams either fail or he basically made mistakes. When it came to the whole thing about the Giants and him, losing that last play of the game, you've had so many people that actually watched ball that basically said he had no play. But that doesn't matter because he didn't make the play. And so it's like, why y'all hating on this nigga? What did he do? Because if it's a whole vaccine thing, he ain't basically did any less damage to the vaccine than like any other quarterback. Excuse me. Aaron Rodgers is in the league. he didn't really say much that basically was that damning. You had other quarterbacks like a Dak, like a Lamar Jackson that basically did the no comment when it came to the vaccine as well. Only thing he said was, "Hey, if the shit kills me, it kills me," which is not great, but it's also his life. But all I'm saying is this guy's had an unfair shake for whatever reason, and I will never understand it. It will never be something that basically will ever make sense. I don't like he is just a quarterback. He's a good quarterback. It's not that many of them. He's not the bottom tiers, not the bottom 20 quarterback or bottom 10 quarterbacks. He's upper middle 10 quarterbacks to lower top 10 quarterback. I'm just saying, like, give this guy just some kind of a fair shake as far as what he's done in his career. And don't hold, oh, well, he didn't do well in the playoffs because the team didn't do well in the playoffs because we go in as a 6 seed, don't have shit to really work with, and then basically get beat by a San Francisco that's looked dominant all season
Yes,
and
very
playing
true.
them on the road or losing at home when basically the defense ain't doing shit all game. And basically Kirk has to keep us in the game because the defense is butt. butt all game. Give this man a fair shake. Give him his flowers. Kirk, skull to you. Happy being in Atlanta. All praises due. Hope you do well, man. Thank you for the Viking years. Thank you for all the stuff you've given me as far as going along with what the Vikings are, which is high highs, lows, but always
Hey,
good
Kurt,
times.
if you bring them to like the playoffs, I need some rapper, whether it be JD or somebody. I need y'all to get him a "Welcome to Atlanta" chain so he can
Mm,
floss. Just get him the chain. Just hook him up. Somebody hook Kurt up
mm,
with a "Welcome to Atlanta" chain. But with Rob's, great, profound ending on Kirk Cousins' tenure as a Viking, I want to say New England kind of has made out, but there is one other team that's stealing. But New England, you done kind of good. You got back Jacoby Brissett, you got Nathan Rourke, you got Antonio Gibson, you got Kendrick Bourne, you got Jalen Rigor, you got Hunter Henry, you got Austin Hooper. Then you went and got 3 offensive tackles.
mm.
Wheatley re-signed. You got Chukimi, yeah, and you got Owenu. He got 3 years, 57 million. You went and got 2 edge rushers. You got another D lineman. I'm gonna say this: New England, you've been over there doing some signing. I'm gonna tell you something, Rob. I'm expecting that number 1 pick to be a quarterback over there.
Oh yeah.
I'm expecting that first round pick to be a quarterback. To me, this screams I'm loading up for a quarterback
Mm,
right now, and I'm
yeah.
looking forward to it. I want to see I want to see what New England is going to do, turning the page away from Mac Jones now that he's gone. I want to see how this is going to work. This is definitely going to be something very interesting. Uh, Another notable one. So Baltimore, you got Derrick Henry. Okay, it's a lot of people who say how many more options because we know Derrick Henry is a bell cow. That's just flat out. Nobody can deny this. Um, I've heard the argument of does this make them better? Eh, to me, it kind of does, but then I can also understand where you're worried about the passing game. You're worried about the development of the passing game in Baltimore. But it's Derrick Henry, bro. You signed a Mack truck out of the backfield. Like, come on now. I think that's the way I look up at the situation. But does it do anything for the passing game? No, nothing. What
It
do you
could.
think? You think it could?
It could be. Yeah, because I mean, if Derrick Henry is still the Derrick Henry of old, like, yeah, it's gonna basically do something for the pass game because here's a running back that you really have to worry about. There's a running back that you really have to basically load up for, and then you got still got Zay Flowers out
Yeah,
there, and I don't know who Baltimore's gonna pick. Like if they should go after another wide receiver just in case
yeah.
something. But like, yeah, I mean, having to fear something like that, and then basically having to play just kind of like what we said with the Browns, which I'm gonna let you finish and then I'm gonna go in on the Browns. But no, man. I mean, it could be something. It could be something that other teams have to worry about.
I'll say this: they had the number one rushing attack last year, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna be the number one rushing attack again this year.
Mm.
And maybe this opens up because this is Derek goddamn Henry coming out of the backfield, bro. But Zay
Mm.
Flowers, I think hopefully he takes a step in maturity and does what he needs to do. And if I was them, I would go after one more. But Browns, how do you feel about the Browns though?
So we talked about segments and stuff like that and everything. I'm gonna call this one "Why Are You So Dumb?" So Browns, why are you so dumb? And what I mean by that is what I tell you. I told you to go get Derrick Henry. Do what you can to go get Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry didn't sign for that much. I want to say his 2-year deal is really like a 1-year deal from what I hear. Like it ain't like that much money or
Yeah,
whatever. I told you. I literally came on this here YouTube, this here podcast, Bramigos Pod, and I told you to go get him. And what did you do? You signed. Let's look at who you signed. You signed a bunch of motherfuckers that ain't Derrick Henry. And reason why I wanted y'all to do it is because I was like this. If y'all gonna get somebody that's gonna help the development, not even development, but help Nick Chubb get back on his feet and have a two-headed running attack that can basically have put teams in fear while y'all don't have a great passing game. Y'all did not do that. Y'all did nothing of that. Not even close of that. And you let the motherfucker go to a team in your division.
yes,
So
they
now
did.
you not only didn't do what I tell you to, now you got to see what I told you to do 2 times a year. Maybe 3 times if we're talking about the playoffs. Why are you so dumb? Huh? Why? Answer me. What are you doing? Why you got to be so dumb? Why do you got to basically be the motherfucker that doesn't listen to Rob? You could have been listening to Rob, had Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb. Nobody could really comprehend that shit. And you sitting here, thumb up your whatever, and basically thumb up your ass. There we go. Thumb up your ass. And you basically did not sign him. Why? 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 Like you could have done that. And here you go, let this motherfucker go in your division. Now you got to deal with Lamar and Derrick Henry. Good fucking luck. All right.
Yeah, they
Dumb.
did screw the pooch on that one. They did screw the pooch on that one. That could have been a hell of an attack for y'all, especially to give Deshaun a way to walk his way back into the season, find his rhythm. That lack of passing attack that y'all have is probably gonna be your downfall again, unless something develops that we don't see coming. It's possible Deshaun could dot the field and just make it work. You never know. Now, me and Rob were talking about the Steelers right before we got on here. Steelers, y'all are living up to the steal, and it ain't Steel. It's Steal, and Eddie Guerrero would be proud. You guys got Russ, league minimum, because you know he's going to get paid 2 years later. And me and Rob kind of played the what if scenario. But then you get Justin Fields on a conditional 6th-round pick, which means for it to be the 4th, because me and Rob talks about this, you need Justin Fields to take 51% of the snaps. So that means you need Russ to kick out before halfway through the season. Okay? 1. 2, it's a 6th-round pick. Like, come on now, bro. Y'all kind of gave up a quarterback for a 6th-round pick. Now, that's a different topic that me and Rob will go into. But the Steelers have basically they have their contingency plan in house already. If this works out with Russ, we don't really have to pay you next year, but we're gonna give you a little bit of money, kind of front load it, stretch it out 2-3 more years. Say, hey, Justin, we got you. We don't have to pick up this 5th year. We're gonna use you, trade bait, do whatever, blah blah blah, and get it out and get something about him. Or Russ, this doesn't work. We got the quarterback of the future waiting. Russ goes, he go take his money somewhere else. I don't know, Rob. They kind of got a pretty good win-win right there, man. They got a win-win there.
Yeah.
Y'all are stealing the show with this. Not to be corny, but y'all are stealing the show with that. You picked up Patrick McQueen, a damn good linebacker. You picked up a cornerback and a 6th-round pick in exchange for Dante Johnson and a 2024 7. You re-signed a safety. Well, you signed Deshaun Elliott 2 years. So you done made moves. I think the Steelers are gonna definitely make a push for a deep run at this year. I think that they come in with it, right? I think that they definitely come in with it this year. I think that this is gonna be I think Russ is gonna try to write his revenge tour. And if he writes his revenge tour and makes a deep run, this is gonna be it. This is definitely gonna be it. And there's so many moves that's been made during free agency. It's one more thing that I really wanted to talk about. And this blew my mind. And I don't know if you heard about this. Did you hear that Kenny Pickett wasn't cool with Russ coming there? Okay, so let me adjust myself. Kenny Pickett, dog.
I don't know.
I understand. I know you feel like that might be your house, but you was kind of leasing that house, okay? You gotta make way for the dude who got a Super Bowl ring and way more shit accomplished than you, okay? In his bad year, he played way better than you, okay? Why would we even do this? Okay? You got traded, you go into Philly. You're not starting in Philly, okay? I'm sorry to say it. Unless Jalen Hurts gets hurt, you're not starting in Philly. And then, on top of that, if he gets hurt and you come out there and play like you did all year, you're not making it in Philly, bro. Then people are going to make sure that you're not there. Because with Saquon, oh, boy, Rob, look what Philly did. Saquon, Devontae Parker, okay? That's just a start. You picked up a guard. You got Landon Dickerson, 4 years, okay? 4-year extension, okay? You got Matt Hennessy. Shout out, you need you need to get you a little sponsorship with Hennessy. 2 edge rushers. Yeah. Waffles Holler. Linebackers, 3 of them. Cornerbacks, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, which is ironic because he was streaming on Twitch and said he didn't like playing Philly, and boom, shakalaka, now you're in Philly.
Money.
Hey, what it is, baby.
Motherfucking do.
You on, I feel, I'm not going to say the career chopping block, but I'd watch your mouth. I'd really watch what I say if I was you, Kenny Pickett. You didn't play like a Pro Bowl or something, okay? You can't tell them that Russ can't come here. You don't own that block over there. You own nothing there. You barely afford the rent there, okay? So you, next time, never be upset. I feel like he passed on a good situation to learn. And now you're going to sit behind a guy who's young, and guess what? He's the star over there. What you got to do? All he can do now, Rob, is hope. That's it. He can just hope. I don't know if he realizes that. I hope he does. I hope he does. And Washington is another team, Rob. I looked at a lot of their moves. They're screaming, we want a quarterback too. Marcus Mariota, 6 years. Yeah. We can't wait till draft day. We're already planning a draft episode, and we ain't even got there yet. We ain't even got there yet.
Very, very
Chicago,
much.
yeah, Chicago, y'all are definitely screaming quarterback, look, running back, wide receiver, center, offensive lineman, offensive tight end, defensive end lineman. We're going to get everything we need right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're also loading
Jonathan
up.
Owens from the Loop.
Yep, from
Surprise.
the loop. That one of my boys, home state people. Look, it's certain ones of y'all who are screaming quarterback right now, and I hope that y'all draft the right quarterback and don't screw this up. Hint, hint, because y'all are so lucky. Because if we went in on draft cover, whoo, we got a fire
Mm-hmm.
one coming for y'all. We got a fire one
We
coming
do.
for y'all. We really do.
Get ready.
Oh yeah,
Strap it
definitely
in.
be ready. Definitely be ready. But flashing back to what Rob said about NFC South with Atlanta, Kirk Cousins, I'm not gonna lie to you. Atlanta, y'all looking like y'all trying to make a playoff run, and it's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be fun to watch. It's definitely gonna be fun to watch. Like I said, JD holler at Kirk, get him a chain. Uh, give me Lisa So there for something, or welcome to Atlanta chain. Something. Make that man feel welcome. You know? Tampa Bay paid $100 million for Baker, but if you look at how the money kind of breaks down, it's definitely a good deal for them. Uh, they got Mike Evans back. Mike Evans, I wanted you to go to Kansas City so bad. I wanted you to go to Kansas City so bad, but you didn't. You disappointed me. I feel like, Rob, we're in for maybe one of the better offensive production. I'm going to make a prediction.
Go for it.
I think we're going to have a year where we might see 2 or 3 5,000-yard quarterbacks this coming season. It's just been
What made you say
feeling
that?
like it. So I've been watching how some of these guys are stacking up on guards and linemen. And I've been thinking about how some of them scheme for some of these quarterbacks. We all know Patrick Mahomes got the ultimate cannon back there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for some of these people to kind of shift to look to lean on the passing. I'm looking for Herbert to probably go close to 5,000 yards for sure. You don't think he's gonna go? I think he was 4,000 plus. I think he was 4,000 last year.
They got rid of a lot, and they don't really have much they supplanted unless they're gonna try. Even though they released them, try to go get Mike Williams back. Like they ain't got
They
much
might
there.
go. They might try to reach in the draft, bro. They might try to reach in the draft.
Yeah, this is the wide receiver draft.
Yeah,
Like if they're gonna basically be, which I've heard Malik Neighbors was a name that they basically might go get.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Malik Neighbors, say like yeah, Bro Maduzzi. Like if they go get somebody like them, they can come back. They can sign another receiver. There are other receivers that are out there, but yeah, it's an uphill climb.
Oh hell yeah, it'll be an uphill climb. Now there's one elephant in the room that I'm concerned about. I haven't heard any talks on what San Francisco is going to do with Purdy.
They got some time. That's why.
I know that they got time, but my question is, how much are you going to give? Are you going to try to do him like a Baker Mayfield type contract that we just saw? With I'm gonna give you this much guaranteed. We're gonna do this amount of money, and we're gonna split it up like this, and give you 10 mil on an injury vested after the first year. And I'm wondering if they're gonna lean in that direction. You know, because my thing is, I'm not sold on him as this is my franchise. He's shown that he's really good at points. But I'm going to just say this. If you had a chance to pick Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes right now, I'm pretty sure 90%. I ain't even going to throw the 99.9 because I feel like 10% of y'all would lean to him just to spite me. Well,
Hmm.
I feel like at least 90% of the community is gonna pick Patrick Mahomes before you pick Brock Purdy.
I mean, to be honest, they're gonna pick Patrick Mahomes before a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah,
So
but see, my it's like I said, my only one problem is it's a lot of y'all who are pushing him to be the next Tom Brady. Okay, what he has in the
yeah,
future, we don't know. Is it possible? It's possible me and Rob could both hit the lottery tomorrow. But is it probable? Probably not. We hope it now. We hope it. But come on now. Let's be real about the situation. I don't know. They do have time. You're right. They do have time. And this is gonna be interesting to see. I can't lie. It's gonna be very interesting. But that's just our little breakdown, little snippet, Get y'all our opinion
yeah,
on how we've been looking at the free agency breakdown and whatnot. Up next, MLB the Show, dog.
yeah, yeah.
Been enjoying playing this. I've been playing a little Diamond Dynasty, getting my team together, getting ready to hop online, run duos and trios with some of the homies, run the ones with the random people. So how did you feel about? Because I see you played the Negro League side. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
how did you feel about it? Because I haven't played that side, but I have played Jeter side. So how did you feel about the
Mm.
Negro League side?
So I thoroughly enjoyed the first edition because and I'll be honest, I didn't start playing the Negro League storyline until like maybe a month ago
Yeah,
for the previous MLB the Show, and
yeah,
I loved it. I love the creativity they did with it. I love like the different stories that they had with it. Bob Kendrick, shout out to you. Absolutely. And I say this anytime I get a chance. If you're in Kansas City or you want to plan a trip to Kansas City, please go to the National Negro League Baseball Museum and Hall of Fame. Please go to it, or National League Baseball Museum, or the Negro, sorry, excuse me, Negro League Baseball Museum. Please go to it. It is. I've been there. Haven't been in a while. Haven't been in KC in a while, but went there like about 10 years ago. Absolutely loved it. It is absolutely cool just to go see. They probably got more stuff in the last 10 years since I've been, but absolutely it's a great experience. If you're a baseball fan, if you're not a baseball fan, it is a story of perseverance, it's a story of creativity, story of excitement, story of a lot of things. Bob Kendrick, absolutely, sir. Shout out to you. Shout out to everything you've done with that museum. Appreciate it. And for your voicing of the Negro League storyline within MLB the Show as well. Absolutely fantastic job. Telling the stories, from Buck O'Neill, from all these different greats that have come through. The story about Hank Aaron with you, sir, that was also great as well. The story with Tony Stone, phenomenal, especially because Tony Stone actually, because they took interviews or snippets from an interview that she had done. Absolutely great story. This story about her with her parents and church basically trying to get her not to play baseball. It's absolutely great. I loved it. Uh, it's worth playing. Now, with that being said, the first edition was great. Tony Stone in this edition was great. The rest of it, not so great. I think that they didn't have as much, I want to say, creativity with this one. Not as much. It didn't seem as enthused. There was some nice stories with Buck
mm,
Leonard and with Hank Aaron, um, but it wasn't as like creative as it was with the last time. So like with Satchel Paige, like you basically they had his pitches as the hump and all these kind of different things. Like it had more creativity to it, and it might have just been because of like they kind of did so much in the first version, and with this version they just kind of were more just telling the stories of these great players with Josh Gibson and Buck Leonard, um and Hank Aaron and Tony Stone, but like it didn't have as much oomph as it did the other one. And so it was still great. It's worth playing, it's worth seeing. Like I said, go to the museum, get a lot of rich history. It's a great time. But to be honest, this part of the Negro League one, it didn't hit as much as the last one. But it was good. You hear Crit in the background and everything like that.
yeah.
It was dope. But then you know what? I'm gonna do this. Nate, you tell me how you felt about the Jeter win, and I'm gonna tell you how I felt about the
Okay,
Jeter win.
so Derek Jeter don't. Okay, look, I'm about to sound really bad. Okay, Derek, it's not that I don't like you. It's just I feel like you have one of the most accomplished but unexciting careers I have ever known across baseball. You did a lot of stuff really early. You had nice numbers for what you did and the time and winning championships. And I always say this, a player is a player, but you were in the right situations at the right time. Okay? Whenever I pull Derek Jeter away, because the moments were cool. Oh, he has home run here, the beginning of the jump throw. I mean, I care nothing about that jump throw. Okay, it's nice. I know that you do it, but it's not something that I'm like, I'm going to play this so I can do Derek Jeter's jump throw and look cool. It's not something that I'm concerned about. And I understand how he developed it and all of that, and that was cool. But I'm gonna say this: Derek Jeter, you had one of the most accomplished but unexciting careers ever. Okay, it was. I played it, I finished it, and I know that they say that they're gonna add more to it. I don't know if they're gonna give me the play. I'm gonna play it because I know that there's gonna be a card reward behind it. But outside of that, I'm trying to think because they've taken us up to a point where I think we're in '05 or '09. And I'm thinking like right now, I'm like, okay, Jeter, it's not much more that I can remember that you did that would make me say, yeah, Derek Jeter was not. I don't think of you as that dude of. I do think of you as the captain, the Yankees guy. You definitely are always gonna have that, for real. But I also say this: A-Rod kind of overshadowed you once he got there, okay? Because A-Rod was doing his goddamn thing. He was hitting homers, whether it be still on steroids or not. Like I said, look, you still got to hit the ball. And who he had become. And you're right. We kind of remember who he's dated a lot. But I don't know, Rob. You maybe I'm being too harsh on it. You go ahead and you tell me what you think.
You were much lighter than what I planned to be. Absolutely, unequivocally boring is what the Derek Jeter storyline has been. And granted, I think I'm about halfway through. I think I just got to 2001, something like that. It's yeah, I don't even remember what part because I was kind of going off, dozing off. So this is a criticism that I would say that I don't know what they're gonna do. Hopefully they change this up. And this is actually goes for the Negro League storyline as well. Even though I love Bob Kendrick and I love his voice, him voicing a lot of the stories and everything like that, I think they would have lent themselves, because this is absolutely true for Derek Jeter. I don't know if they're going to do this going forward, but they need more voices. They need more people telling these stories.
Yeah.
So if they could, for the Negro League, if they could find someone's families or find somebody else to help tell these stories, I think it's going to help give more credence to it, because even with Bob Kendricks, as he was telling these stories, it was stories that was told from him from Buck O'Neill. And a lot of the different storylines had the same stories with them. So like when it came to Hank Aaron, the story with Tony Stone replacing him with the Clowns, with the Annapolis Clowns, was the same story that they told in Hank Aaron. So they kind of, lack of a better term, kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
That was a really nice pun that I fell into. But when it comes to these stories, I think they can lend themselves by having more people tell these stories and have more voices within these stories, because that would have helped kind of give more excitement, give more buzz to this and stuff like that. But going back to Jeter, that fucking shit is boring. It is absolutely boring.
It is, though.
If you are a millennial Yankees fan, you will love it. If you are anybody else, you will be sleep by it, because it is just Derek Jeter on a subway stage or a subway made up stage, basically talking about the stuff. Like the only thing I would say he said even kind of interesting was that they was gonna win at Baltimore regardless, and that old boy, the dude that was basically throwing a fit, that the fan literally grabbed the home run ball from the field and did fan interference. That's the only really thing that basically was even kind of interesting. Everything else was just like, okay, cool. You were a minor leaguer. You got called up to the big leagues because somebody got hurt or somebody missed a flight, and then you basically kept your position. That's probably the case for a lot of people. I mean, Wally Pip and old boy, the other Yankee, I can't forget his name. He's an absolute legend. Was it Mickey Mantle or Lou Gehrig? Whoever it was, one of them older
Yeah, I
players.
want to say it was.
Basically, the Wally Pip story where Wally Pip basically didn't get his spot back. That's basically what it was, and it just and like, yeah, like Nate said, it was basically, we talk about Derek Jeter and we love Derek Jeter because of who he dated. And I remember seeing somebody talk about with Kirk Cousins, like nobody benefited more for being bad early than Kirk Cousins. Nobody's benefited more for basically dating celebrities more than Derek Jeter, because other than that, this motherfucker has been absolutely boring, unequivocally boring, just plain on boring this whole time, and even talks in a boring tone. And people said, like, okay, maybe he talks in a boring tone because he wants, not bulletin board material. Motherfucker been retired for a decade. There is no bulletin board that's really gonna basically give a
Like,
shit
for
about him.
real, man.
He is boring, and it's fine to be boring, because it was the same thing when it happened with Russ and Sierra, and people were making this whole thing about Future. Some people are just boring, but they're boring, and the ones that love them, and that's a great thing. I have no issue with that. Some people are corny, and their significant other loves their dirty draws. That absolutely is the case for some folks. Sometimes present company included, but like, it's that nigga is boring, and that storyline is boring,
It
and
is.
I can't really say shit else because there was the only thing that was on my mind as I was playing this shit like 1 a.m. last night. Bored, absolutely bored. But I'm gonna go back in, like they said, to go get that card. But that's it.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, they give you the 85 once you finish it, but it's like, I need something greater if you're going to add to this. I'm just
Right.
being fair about the situation. It is what it is. And I'm going to give you guys this tip at MLB. Look, you got Sosa in the game, you got McGuire. Give us a home run race. Bring us back. You want us to feel nostalgia? Go bring back moments like that. Go bring
98. That was the season I started loving baseball.
Yes,
Like,
bruh.
being a Cardinals fan in St. Louis.
Do you realize how many people love that summer of '98 because of what was going on? These dudes were blasting people out there, and it, for lack of a better words, this was the beginning of the. I'ma say, this was the beginning of the attitude era, aka slash ruthless aggression of baseball for hitters. This is where we started to see that slow ramp up of the hitters are coming, the pitchers have to catch up. And now we're at big power, big velo on the bump. Let's get out here and get busy. This is what we need. This is what the workup was to, and it starts there. We need that. Give give me that starting point. And if you're a baseball fan, you know this. You know that the home run race, whenever this started, it made people who didn't even watch baseball watch baseball. So
Yep.
start there, MLB. If you start there on one of them, I promise you. Look, me and Rob will come in and do some work for y'all for like 100 grand. We got y'all.
At least 2, 3.
Yeah, two, three, and a few legendary copies of the game. Just throw that out there. But start there. Start with something that made people. It really digs at people's nostalgia. They love old moments, but a lot of us love those moments, and that's where baseball went to another level.
Yeah. Like when Nate's absolutely correct, and I 100% agree because I remember as a kid like this being in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch like every day. Sosa hit 3, McGuire is gonna hit 2, and it's just like you see the race back to back. Like that shit was so fucking cool. Like with what they did with the home run race, I absolutely agree. I know people get up their own ass about, oh, well, those guys did steroids. We have zero clue who's done steroids.
Zero.
It's a Salem witch hunt because the thing about the whole Balco shit and what everybody kept saying and what a lot of people don't really think about or like the synapses don't click is that basically Balco said like who was and wasn't doing steroids, but the tests there weren't like Alex Rodriguez never tested positive. Barry Bonds never tested positive. Like like all these guys that have been talked about taking PED, a lot of these guys that have been talked about taking PEDs never tested positive. So we have no clue who was on anything. Like we don't know, like when it comes to the pitchers, when it comes to who was on base, all these people, we have no clue. Because even with Balco, for that matter, we don't know about the other, you know, scientific, nutrition, whatever people that was basically passing out steroids. We have no clue how many, how long, how far this reaches. We just know about Balco because that was the big sting operation. But like we have zero clue who wasn't on roids the last 30, 40 years. Not a clue. Well, we can't say equivocally like how many people were, how many people were. We just got the guys that got caught or the guys that basically were named in a lot of big name things. And so no, when it comes to the home run race of 1998, that absolutely has to be the next storyline that basically come out with this. Because that is my childhood. Like that was like the St. Louis kid that started loving baseball, watching on KPLR, Channel 11, St. Louis Cardinals baseball. That was my life way back when basically TV came, when baseball came on TV. Like that was my life, bruh. So no, man, add that shit to the game, MLB, and improve your graphics. I mean, graphics could look better. Like I would say this. I'm not gonna basically harp on y'all graphics like other people have, but y'all do need to get a little bit better. The grass don't look as great as it could with what I'm paying for this Xbox Series X, dog. Like this shit could look better.
Could look
and
a
so
little
like
better.
just a little cleaner. Like just a little bit cleaner. Maybe it looks cleaner on the PS5, but like on the Series X, it doesn't look as clean as it could. The animations are a little bit better, a little bit more smoother, but the like the aesthetics could be much better. I feel like, and get a dark mode because the bright lights is a little bit too bright. You've been going to like more subdued colors, and then having accents from that with the other ones. Like go to a main, not having the main color be white and then like the accents be like pink and shit like that. It ain't helping, big dog. Like it's hurting the eyes a little bit. So get a dark mode. Get a dark mode.
My boy said we need that. We need the UV filter mode, okay?
I mean, god damn, like it is like it's bright. It is bright. Like people talk about like hurting their eyes, dog. It is bright. I give it that, but
But yeah, summer '98 is where y'all need to be. Like that, it's no other. I love everything, but I promise you, you go there and you tell that tale and go get those guys. Like Rob said, it's a bunch of goddamn hearsay. And put Barry Bonds in the goddamn game.
Well, Barry Bonds has to agree to be.
Well, yeah, you go finesse him with that check, bro. Y'all got that money, man. You go talk to Barry, bro.
That's been more. Barry Bonds don't really really don't fuck with y'all, and by y'all I mean like mostly everybody. He really don't fuck with nobody in baseball, and they don't really fuck with him either. And I think that's.
At least do me and Rob a solid. Get us in the same room with Barry. We just want some autographs and shit and tell him how great he is.
I'll measure his head.
Yeah, you may make sure. You just gotta make sure. We do a little undercover investigation for y'all. We got y'all. But to end this, we're still gonna be in the little topic of game. Well, not gaming, but they do have a game out right now, and I am currently playing their game also. WWE, please end this Cody Rhodes storyline. Just please, we love Cody. Don't get me wrong, we love Cody. Give him the title. Give him the title and let his story be finished with. And look, this has been prolonged way further. Y'all have been stretching this, and look, if this was dope, this dope wouldn't be hitting on nothing. Okay, because y'all done whipped it and stretched it and whipped it and stretched it.
Stepped on it.
Yeah, you done stepped on this so many times. It's almost damn near all baking soda at this point. All right. In this story, like I said, it's not Cody. It's not us being against Cody. We want that to be clear first. Let's be very clear. We're not against Cody. But what we are against is dragging a storyline out like this. And it's gonna be one of y'all hollering about it. But what about the blood? Shut your ass up. Shut your ass up. Close your mouth. Close your goddamn mouth. Okay? The bloodline story is just fine. Okay?
Very.
But go ahead in this for Cody. Let Cody get his belt. Let him get his run. Let him do his thing. And then in 2-3 years, he'll go back to AEW. Just let this happen. I'm tired of this being stretched out. I just want him to end and let the bloodline continue to do what they do. Because the bloodline is like the young and the restless part of wrestling. They can spin this and do this because their family line has so much talent in it. They can do this. They can legit do this. And we can't fault them. Because who knew that High Chief Peter Maivia would spawn all of this behind this, and all of this would be linked to these people. We didn't see this, but it has. And it's allowed for WWE to have endless stuff. We'll have a very huge, endless, I'm not going to say completely endless, but a very long storyline with having a other storylines that can fall under it that can play out, and you still have something that draws a lot of people attention in the bloodline. But in this, Cody, give him the title, let him win. Y'all doing this? I think Rob. Well, me and Rob are still going in on this being WrestleMania. Let it happen, Rob. I know you had something to say about it though.
Yeah, man. Like it's done. Like we've talked about before. The story is that Cody basically has to have the world heavyweight WWE title, whatever. At this point, yeah, man, like just end it. I know basically they brought in, or seemingly gonna bring in, Sylvester Stallone to be Rocky, especially with this being in Philly. They've been doing the whole finish the story. You got to finish the story. They've been doing this. And if they basically don't give the crescendo like they did with Kofi Mania, like they did with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, I don't see where they go with this. I don't see where they go with Cody. I don't see where like this goes. I think the best thing to do for Cody is to just let it happen and let him have the title. I don't care even how long. I really don't. I just ready for it to be over. I have the story fatigue, and I don't want to hear anything more about the story. I want him to basically finish the story, have it be done, have Rock and Roman do whatever they gonna do, and just please just have it done. Like I'm fatigued. Like I can't do any more story. I've had enough story. I don't even care to hear about the story no more. I just want Cody to have the title and just be completely done with it. And I know they're gonna have the tag match before they on night one. That's gonna be dope because it gives Rock his WrestleMania match, and I'm just done with the story, dog. Like
I know.
I'm just done with the story.
I know.
Like I really am.
Just give it to him. I just let it play out. It's been enough. It's been enough. His bag on this story isn't as deep as that bloodline across them.
It's not.
Their bag is like Santa's magical bag. That shit is deep. We don't even know at the end of that sucker. It ends somewhere in Okinawa, Japan, or something. I don't know. This one is right here in the living room with him. Just give us the end, dog. And then I don't care if you flip it to him feuding with somebody or him giving somebody else a run. To be real with you, I feel like it need to be LA Knight. If you're going to push in a different direction, I could see LA Knight. I could see Montrez. I could see a few different people. It's a bunch of ways, and it's a bunch of good talent. Very good talent. That could be pushed in that direction. But in this damn story, just end it. I'm tired of it. Just give it to us, Night 2. Give him the belt. Give him a run. I don't care. Give him a different feud. Just get off this particular story. Shout out to the late, great Dusty Rhodes. Legend in wrestling forever. But let Cody end his story and start something new. And just like we want him to end this story, we're going to end this episode of Bramigos Podcast. Look, we love y'all. We love doing this. Don't forget to tell your people about us. Like, subscribe, shake up the box for us. We did numbers on one of them.
Shake that box.
Yeah. We did numbers on the short with Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We'll touch up on that as it get closer because, you know, Mike is training his ass off, Rob. I don't know if you've seen the clips. Mike is going crazy. But we're out of here. Tell him, Rob. Let him know.
Deuces, ooses. All right. Good night, Taylor Swift. Good night, Canada. Good night, somebody else. But yeah, finish the damn story. Just finish it. Just done. We're done with the story.
Done.
No more story.
No more.
Story time over.
Done.
Let's stop the story.
Get it over with.
Stop it.
Get it over
Stop
with.
that story.
But we love y'all. We out. Peace.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Bramigos Podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.